Hello and welcome back. Today I am actually going to just allow for the energy to speak through me. I can say that I can feel the energy really building up. I hear a crescendo. Yeah, so something is going to overflow, something is happening energetically, and it is going to translate into the 3D. So I really felt that it was time to come on here and to just see what is needed to tell you guys. So there's this energetic buildup. There's a lot of energy. There's a lot of think. It's almost like the silence before the pin drops. If you're listening to it either the same day or around the day that I am releasing it, tomorrow there's the 7/7 portal. So it's the 7th of July, which is a turning point, I hear. There's a lot of karmic clearing, a lot of releasing of the past. Okay, so you may be feeling this energy. If you're feeling that something is almost like beneath the surface, do not forget about your energetic hygiene. Do whatever you need to do, because the things that you're happening energetically, yes, you are obviously a part of, because we are one, part of one collective on that level, of course. However, it is not yours to carry, not yours to bear, I hear. And so maybe you are in the same situation as I am. I am a divine feminine on a twin soul journey. My beautiful beloved is my divine masculine. So maybe you are witnessing energetically what is happening in your divine counterpart's life. There's a lot of buildup, and shit is going to break loose. That's what I heard. And this is one of the reasons why you're witnessing it, is for you to hold the light. So whether you're doing it for your divine counterpart, or you're doing it just for the collective, or just for yourself, like I am, because I really felt guided to do something about it. My guides have been pushing me to be more active, to create more. Despite me being in a very dry spell, I have felt extremely exhausted mentally, energetically, and I just, my creative juices have not been flowing, basically. And of course, this is part of my journey. This could be my personal circumstances doing that, but I have not been really there or ready to record. But today I felt really pushed to, and I really want to, and I have felt this energy just basically outside of my energy field. It's almost like it's looming there. It's like knocking on my door. And if you're feeling this, you're not supposed to let it in, because as much as you are a part of a bigger collective, as much as you're a part of one being with your divine counterpart, whatever is happening is theirs to bear. It's theirs to go through, and the only thing, like your one job right now, is to hold the light. Thank you, God. So this is maybe just a reminder for you to take it to heart. If you're listening to it, then you will resonate when I tell you that you're at a point where your job really is to anchor and hold down the energetic field of your union with your divine counterpart. You have already merged energetically with your divine counterpart, right? It's the 3D that is catching up. But because it's the most dense reality, it feels very heavy. So for you to remember, it's really just to, well, it's nothing new, right? Stand in your power, but really be very mindful of what you're doing currently. If that is of any consolation to you, just before I sat down and I felt pushed to record, I actually was doing some tarot for myself individually. It had nothing to do with collective, and I was basically just shown I here to mind my own business. Well, sure, that too, but it was very much just like things are changing, that's it, and there's progress happening. That's all. And I really felt like the push that, well, I should probably be telling that to others. So basically, mind your own business. No, I guess you should always follow your own inner guidance. You should always follow what feels right for you. However, I do want to say that no matter how nurturing you are, how much you love somebody, how much you wish to help, how much you wish to help them carry the burden of whatever it is that they're going through, it is not your job. And it is really, I would say, the hardest lessons for a divine feminine to learn on this journey is really allowing people, because it's not just about our divine masculine, it's not just the counterpart, because it's about everybody else. It's just taking a step back and allowing everybody else to follow their path. No matter what that entails. It may be excruciating, it may be almost cruel, if you will. It's never cruel, but it may be extremely heavy. But no matter whether you have all the answers and you really, really want to help, because this is who you are extremely nurturing. You are the embodiment of the mother, the divine feminine. You wish to nurture, you have all the answers, and so you wish to share them. You're actually not supposed to, because the only way, and this is the most merciful and the most helpful thing that you can do for everybody else that isn't you, well, I'll take that back, because your counterpart is you. It's just you in a different body, right? So everybody else besides your divine feminine incarnation on this earth this time around, so everybody else in your environment and else in your collective, including your divine masculine, you're actually just supposed to let go. You need to allow them to make the mistakes. You also need to allow them to kind of carry their own cross, like no matter how difficult that is. And to me, and I'm pretty sure that is just kind of one of the lessons for us in the collective, in the divine feminine collective, is really to kind of allow people to fall on their ass. Well, yeah, it kind of is, right? No matter the fact that you have had all the answers from the beginning, because this is kind of the role and nature of the divine feminine. You have all the answers, but it's like they are there for you because you are the oracle. Oh, chills. Okay. You are the oracle. You are the mirror. You see all the answers. You have all the answers. However, it is not always for either your divine counterparts best for you to divulge the answers that you have, or the solutions, or the point of the lessons that they're going through, or anybody else, right? Whether it's your friends, family, I don't know, neighbors, coworkers, whomever, right? It is for you to know, because you are meant to see the patterns, because you're meant to lead people in a way that you kind of inspire them to see things from a different perspective and start to search for their answers in their own heart. But you're not supposed to kind of give them the answers. You're not actually supposed to like come up to them and say, listen, I see this pattern within you. I have seen you repeating these cycles over and over again. Here, this is actually what you should do, or like, this is what you're doing. You know, all you need to do is to maybe take a look at this and that, and it's going to help you, or something like this. So I think this is the message, really. Stay strong, Divine Feminine. Stay strong in your position. No matter like what label or the way you have understood the journey, like whatever labels you use, no matter how you see, to me, like my personal, something that personally resonates for me for some reason is the ocean. Well, I mean, I know the reason, but it's the oceans, the sea, right? And so I know that as the Divine Feminine, I am the guiding light. I am like either the lighthouse, the northern star, right? However you wish to see yourself, you are the one that is meant to illuminate the darkness. However, everybody else in that darkness that you illuminate, they're meant to find their own way in it. And so this is all you have to do. And it's frustrating, especially when it comes to energies in our life that are very important to us, right? Our loved ones, our, I don't know, family, friends, right? Because you do wish to help, but you're actually not supposed to. If you feel guided to, yes, of course you should give them like a nugget. You should give them, and you will be guided to say precisely what you need to say, and as much as you're meant to say to them, because there are guides and higher beings working through your person, if you will. So you will know what to say and when to say to your loved ones. But basically, you're not supposed to do too much, at least not right now. Not around this portal, not in this moment. You will know when it's time for you to do more, when it's allowed for you to open the gates of that wisdom, of that knowledge, and allow the divine truth to be known to either your divine counterpart and or others, right? Because obviously your divine counterparts and your collective, they will arrive at their own understanding and answers. But what you will be doing is you will be confirming a lot of things for them, and they for you, of course, right? Because everything is mirrored. But at this point, I was actually going to say that sadly, you're actually just meant to like sit back and watch that spectacle. It's not a spectacle. It's not like anything pleasant to look at, because you know, because of the energy that you feel, just how heavy it all is. The 3D illusions are unraveling, and it's a lot to deal with. And so obviously it's not like nothing pleasant to witness. However, uncomfortable and even painful it may be to us divine feminines, we're actually not supposed to help our divine masculines or any divine masculines, because they're meant to what is that? Trial by fire, I hear. Yeah, so they're meant to kind of go through that hell alone, because that hell, that fire right now is stripping down, is burning away all of the false ego, all of the masks and personas that they have accumulated and lived by during their existence up until the moment they've met you, and even after. But now all of that is being ripped away from them, and they're very vulnerable, and it's very difficult for them, obviously. But you, and again, even though you may see that, even if you feel that you would really love to just, basically arrive there like the empress on the white horse and say, hey, listen, here I am, my emperor, I have all the answers. You can't. Just allow them their own path. Allow them to do what needs to be done. And here I will say that if there is any doubt that creeps out of shadows within you, that doubt that you're feeling that may come up within you, it's actually their doubt if they're doing the right thing, if like the steps that they're taking and or the things that are happening within them are meant to happen, right? Because they are being stripped by everything. Everything must go, I hear. So there's a lot of happening, and they have to find themselves. I think that I lost a train of thought there. Maybe not. Either way, so yeah, no matter like how much it pains you, and if you feel like some doubt creeping in, thinking like, well, maybe I will see my divine masculine repeating a cycle. No. Do remember that this is the moment that they are shedding all of the false egos and belief systems and karmic patterns, and they are you. So what is left after that fire is you. Actually, you, who you are at a core. And so you as a divine feminine could not arrive to the point that you're at currently, with your wisdom, with your knowledge, with your compassion, with your unconditional love and grace and understanding and all of these things, right? And your bravery and it's called courage, right? So with your courage and all of these things, like your divine masculine is that. And so even if you're like, for a moment, your ego is trying to kind of whisper to you that, there's some doubt that maybe they will just go back to the old patterns, they're not allowed. It is impossible now. They have come so far that they cannot go back to the past. And they're also you. And so they are fully capable of going through that trial of hell, like of fire, and come out on the other side as the emperor. So believe in them, because the way you believe in them is the way you believe in yourself. So if you ever like feel that there's some shadows creeping out, just remember that they are you, and remember how far you have come, and just how much you believe in yourself, because you have seen yourself go through the same thing, right? Maybe in a different way, but it's the same thing. Everything has been unraveled from our 3D reality and from within us, and now they are going through it. So clear your energy, pray for them if you feel like it, if you're guided to, send them love, send them your belief, your certainty that you believe in them, because you should be, at this point in time, you should be certain that there'll be no going back, because there won't be. They will come out of that fire. On the other side of that fire is the Emperor. So thank you so much for listening today. I really hope that this message gets to whomever needs that. If you feel guided to work with me, there are contact details in the description box. And if nothing else, I'll talk to you another time. Bye.